Now it's all in play. Glory's call in the all-star fray. 12 dreams clash. It's the league showcase. Glory's chase. Feel the ground shake. You stand tall. Never fear the climb. All for one. And it's game time. In the stands, hear the roaring crowds. Wearing colors, we're standing proud. 12 teams fight under the spotlight's rays. Glory's night in the all-star blaze. Sweat and toil on this hallowed turf. One will rise.
That should be better, boys. Can you hear me now? Some reason I'd knocked the headset onto mute. Can you hear me now? There we go. Excellent. Good stuff. Good evening, boys. Was just saying we've got a decent little night of fixtures. Dandies against the Bisons, probably the headline fixture. Shore Pump against the Vikings, looking pretty good. And a repeat of last year's final in the local fire against the Steam Pigs. Hope you're all well, boys. Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to start with Gators against Memphis Reigns. And this is how the Gators go. They have been a little bit busy in the transfer market. Where are we at? Viali and Totti coming in for Sigs, I believe, for Maxime. How they're doing form-wise. Draw, defeat. Yeah, Dimble just scratching around for a little bit of form, although they do look miles more competitive. Over to the Memphis Reigns, who have also been very busy, and the rest of the league will shiver and quake that Friidayyy is in the hands of his godfather tonight, back at the club where he did so much damage in season 1 and 2, and we'll see how they go tonight. Best of luck to both, as the Memphis Reigns look to be on top in the text early doors, but Adielson curls one over the bar. And Mickey Laney's involved there, so is Gallardo. Adielson again back in the mix, and we get a half time, and nothing much has happened. Yeah, nothing really standing out. Manu Petit doing bits for the Gators. Another signing from Steam Pigs a couple of games back. And Mark Anthony, who's been so good for the Memphis Reigns, finds himself on a 5 as half time. We'll see what Roxy wants to do there. He's obviously got some decent weapons on the bench in Jimenez, Barsom and Solis, all who've kind of chipped in. Barsom hasn't really played much, has he? No, but the other two definitely have chipped in. It's an as is from Roxy, and we'll just see if Dimble is around for the early KO and see what he wants to do. Not sure he would actually do much, to be honest, at this point. No yellow cards, no fitness issues. And we will roll a 60 because Dimble doesn't seem to be live. And we'll see who gets the goal. Feels as though one goal might be enough in this one. But we shall see. 15 minutes played. 52 now. Adielson has been everywhere. Waves play on. Gators appealing for the penalty. Oh, Vieri missed a double chance there. It looked as though there was a bit of woodwork involved. Over to the Gators first of all. Totti on a booking, but on a 7. Nothing condition-wise to worry about. Extabiria on that right-hand side. He has been really good in the AMC and the save for a couple of people. So it would be interesting to see if Dims rocks up what he does. Mark Anthony still on his 5. George Atos, who's been really, really good across the whole save, really, on an 8. And Charlie Chaos on a 6. Again, Vieri on that 6. Will he find his Memphis Reigns form, or will he find his Dandies form, which was 1 in 11, which is really nothing special at all. And we'll just go back to that view in case the boys want a little bit further detail as to the ratings. And there's Dims's, just in case he pulls up at 60. Mievski has joined Petit on an 8 on the 60-minute mark. Aye, Dims, mate, it's 0-0. You've both created very little. Looked very solid, but creating very little between you, to be honest, mate. So we're at 60. Take a couple of seconds just to take your stats in, Dims. I'll make Rox's changes, and then we'll come back to you for anyone that you want to make. And it's a roll from Dims. Jimenez for Anthony. Chuck him left to Vieri. Agbar for Gallardo. Chuck him on. And then 3 up. Fantastic. Really clear from you both, gents. And we'll roll until full time. Cheers, Dims. Appreciate it. And we'll see if that 3 up top is enough to break down the solid Gators defence. Bearing in mind, Mievski and Petit are on the 8. And look to be tackling everything that's at it. Feels like a Totti 1-0 this. Gators has been really good defensively. Costanzo tips it over the bar there. Big save from the Gators keeper though. Baumer. Mievski, Petit. 4 minutes. Nelka has a chance. And we get to full time. A little bit more activity in the second half, but not by much. It was a pretty low bar, to be honest. Gators being absolutely outplayed in terms of the air. But those ratings are really, really solid. Kitchen Down would have wished he had those ratings a long, long time ago, to be honest with you. And Petit looks to be on for a man of the match performance, given them numbers, I think. Over at the Reigns, they've made the changes. The changes have definitely improved their creativity. Vieri still stays on a 6. And we go to wingers from Rocks. And we'll see if Dims wants to do anything on the 60-minute mark there. Tonton Mikuku for Adielson, who was really involved in the first half. And we'll see who gets the golden goal. Best of luck to both. Yeah, definitely, Horse. The ratings seem to have improved since Anthony went off. Again, are we going to get another extra time draw? Ultra competitive. We do indeed. I think we're on for like a world record amount of draws in the league. Petit doesn't get man of the match. It's Juan Gomez who gets man of the match. 19 from 12 or 12 from 19. Petit's probably harshly done by there, to be honest. But yeah, played to both. 2 really, really solid teams. And a 1-0 win for either would have been harsh on the other, you think. Oh yeah, let's get this one out of the way. Bisons against Dandies. This is the game of the night, really. Bisons have got a 3-point lead and a game in hand. And they've been really dominant since about week 2 when they really clicked. Or week 3 rather. They are really kicking on and looking at the team to beat. Dandies have made some changes. Walter Samuel comes in for a debut, and Hernan Crespo is in there. Cafu is still injured, and Gerard plays as that wing back. Best of luck to Spud. And we'll see who gets a vital 3 points. Bisons would have a massive lead at the top if they were to win tonight. And the form lines would probably tell you they'd be slight favourites, even though they are away from home tonight. And it could be that man that I couldn't get a tune out of. It is Harry Kuehl. I was just bigging him up. Again, it's another really, really close game. Harry Kuehl nearly with the knife to the front there of his former manager, who couldn't get a tune out of him. There's the Bisons rating at half time, and we'll have a quick look at Dandies in a sec. David's on a 7. think we'll go a little bit more attacking. Just try and give Tato something to think about. It is a big game indeed, and we'll have a little look. Nothing from Spud, so we'll go to 60. See who can get the first goal. It's a booking for Thuram. Back functionally offside, 50 minutes played. Dandy's just creating a little bit more, looks like. But the Bisons only need 1 or 2 chances. They've demonstrated that. Oh, Crespo puts it wide. And we get to 60 minutes as Roberto Carlos hangs over a free kick. Dandy's did look better. David's on a 9 since the 45-minute mark. Over at the Bisons, yeah, close one indeed, Tato. I'll just give you a couple of seconds to have a look at your rating, saying as you missed half time there, mate. Just take your time. Are we going to get back-to-back 0-0 extra times? Yeah, if Bisons were to pull off this win, they'd be 6 points clear of Dandies with a game in hand, and probably about 8 points clear of the rest of the league, depending on how Vikings got on. Anything from you there, Spud? Collins, Shevchenko, Roberto, players that can come on and change the game. Roberto, what a sub that is. Roberto, Sheva for Mpenza, who's been in great form. And that'll do until full time, and we'll see who can get what will be a massive, massive goal of either side. And it is Fabio Cannavaro, his first ever goal in 2.5 seasons for the Dandies, as the Dandies have the advantage. And there is Hernan Crespo. Dandies, who struggled to score against Drivetrain across 180 minutes. I've got 2 goals against the Bisons, and look to be keeping the Bisons in touch and distance. Crespo again. Yeah, bloody hell, Frey is the comment from. It does look to be a Sebastian Frey chucking them in, and that is an absolutely massive, massive win for the Dandies and a massive win for the rest of the league, in all honesty. And a Walter Samuel 9 on debut. Cannot ask for much more than that. Frey maintains a 7. So it mustn't have been Frey, Spud. But I suppose there's not that many on target. Unlucky Tato, as the Dandies get the 3 points there with a bounce back win. Over at the Pelham Pumas against the Drivetrain. This is how Kitchen Dan goes. I believe it was just Patsid Soglu in for Kaladze. And over at the Drivetrain, Savage, if you're there, mate, I don't know if I've missed a sub or if Perry was the sub for Nesta. And obviously Nesta's injured, so you might beat me to it. And let me know who that 4th... Yeah, if you could just let me know who that 4th sub is, please, my man, Sav. That'd be grand. Abiati Yakubu, Dekor, Tomadira. Yeah, I know you're there. I'm not going anywhere, mate. Don't... I'll not click. So you've basically done Nesta for Perry on your submission, but then Perry must have been your 4th sub last match. Oh no, he wasn't. Scholes. You just want Scholes back in. I don't know why I've. Where's Scholes? Oh, because Scholes has went. You've sold Scholes. That's why. That makes sense. Costa, maybe. Costa, yeah, there we go. Drivetrain really, really solid against the Dandies. 4 points from 6 in that back-to-back. And again, haven't really conceded many over the course of the last couple of games. Best of luck to both managers. The Drivetrain defence has been outstanding over the course of the save. Of that, there is no doubt. But it's a slightly different beast without Nesta. But they'll not care because Elba's put them 1-0 up. And you'd probably say that this is against... Oh, Sav. Wow. Back-to-back. Did Savage have Nesta and Barthez out early on in season 1 as well? Or have I imagined that? Someone in the chat will be able to tell us. Someone in the chat will be able to tell us there. I'm pretty sure he had them both out for a long period of time at the back end of season 1 or in season 1. Oh, and Pelham have double punched from nowhere. What's Abiotti's rating going to be at half time? Van Nistelrooy puts his manager back into it, and it's 2-2 on 45 in what turned out to be a really entertaining half of football. Desmond at half time, but Barthez injured is the headline for the drive train. 65 conditioning, so it mustn't be a massive one. But that's their ratings at half time. 2 6s for Giannichella and Simeone, and Medivicchia and Abbiati on 6s as well. I don't think we've got Kitchen Dan live. We've got Montella on a 6. We've got Patrick Power on a 6. And we've got Westerveld on a 6. So we'll just hang on there and see if KD pops up. And he hasn't. I think he's on a steak order tonight. So we will go to 60 minutes. So we've jumped to 67 from nowhere. So we'll have a little look at match ratings. For Dan. And then for Sav. Yeah, the world's biggest steak order. And we'll just see what Sav wants to do on 68 minutes to try and get the win over the line. If he was to get the winner, it'd be 7 points from 9, which would be massive for him, to be honest. But that Nesta injury is massive, and he's just hoping now that that the Barthez one isn't as big. Ronaldinho fires in with a half a chance. Oof. Feels as though Pelham are just building here. Montella with a half a chance just before the final whistle. And we get to full time, another game going to extra time. And this is the tail of the tape for Pelham. Ortega and Donati on 7s and 8 respectively, and on a little bit low conditioning. Montella on a 6, but how often have we seen him have a 6 and then just pops up with a winner in these games? Drivetrain, who had such a good record in extra time in the early parts of this save, that's how they find themselves. Evening, Dan, how are we doing? That's the kind of tail of the game, Dan. You went 1-0 down, you went 2-1 up. And then Van Nistelrooy just scored on the break at half time. As is from Sav, as both managers kind of believe they've got the best 11s out on the pitch to get the job done. Oh, big save from Westerveld. Been such a massive keeper for Pelham. More pressure for Pelham, and Patsoglu, the man who's only in there because Kakuyeba Kaladze is injured. Pelham steal the 3 points there tonight in what is a massive, massive win for them, given that they're trying to build some real form together. And it's a Patsoglu man of the match in place if Kaladze might not get into that 11 in a hurry. First ever goal for them. And unlucky to drivetrain. That Barthez injury definitely played a role. He went off and they conceded 2. Abbiati did maintain an 8 though until full time. Over to a replay of last year's final. This is how the local Fire go. They are building a bit of patchy form, you'd probably say, but they have won 2 on the spin. And over at the Steam Pigs, Steve constantly seems to be in a bit of a rebuild mode at the minute. The form hasn't been great, but they won 3 on the spin a couple of games ago, and it's all about the signing of this boy. If he flies, it doesn't matter what else happens anywhere else on the pitch. And that's what Steve will be hoping. as we get underway. And there is Maxim on his debut. 4 minutes in. 4 minutes in. That's ominous. He didn't mean it, said the commentary. I don't know if you caught that, lads. But he didn't mean it. And he's put his team 1-0 up. Is Scotty the first of the victims from a rejuvenated Sigs in pink? And there is Van Bommel, who is sent off for stay. Scotty, remember that you've got the option to change as well, given that you are you're one behind. Well, given that you're a man up, but you're also one behind, so you might want to think about that. And Steve, if you let us know what you want to do, I'm guessing there's going to be a Paul Scholes drop in or just a Vieira diag to push into MC. And regardless of what Steve does, Scotty is going to move Zanoni into MC. Scott, I'll just do that, and if you just confirm, we'll see what Steve wants to do. Steve was about much earlier, but I haven't seen him. So if we perfect. The red card's perfect, Steve, or the suggestion of the Vieira diag was perfect, or the dropping of Scholes back was perfect, bud. You just let us know which one of those you want to do, or obviously if you want to do something else, that would be just as good, bud. But if you could let me know. Otherwise, we'll roll as is till half time. We're going to roll as is till half time, Steve, because you've took 20 minutes there, bud. "35 minutes played. Vieira with a drive. Scholes with a curler." Feels as though Steam Pigs are actually playing better with the 10 men. Bit of a 10-man boost here, and we get to half time, and the Steam Pigs are 1-0 up. A Local Fire have really struggled to create anything there. And Sally Hamilton trying to 6. Van Bommel on 5 for the red, but Vieira doing his bit in the middle of the park. Over to our Local Fire, who may well decide to make some wholesale changes here, you think. Cabello, Saviola and Thierry Henry all on 6s. Zanoni and Ashley Lythe, who've been so big and so good for so many teams, Lythe in particular for Scotty, just struggling to exert some influence on the game at the minute. The rule from Steve, and we'll therefore just wait and see what Scotty wants to do with his team. Arrows on the DMs. Espinal for Sav. Drop to AMRC. Arrows on the MCs. Yeah, Saviola feels as though he was brilliant. Well, he was all right for drive chain, wasn't he? Yeah. Feels as though he's just been a bit shit this save, doesn't he? Arrows on the MCs, arrows on the DMCs, Zanoni CM, Espinal. Right, okay, brilliant. Lovely. And we'll roll to 60. It's a roll from Steve. Salihamidzic, dead here with half a chance. Penalty kick. Yellow card for Andre. Ibrahim Saeed does not miss penalties. And the Steam Pigs with 10 men find themselves 2-0 up, 55 minutes played. They're pushing for a third here, the Steam Pigs. As a logo are really struggling to create anything. Vieira's absolutely dominating in that right DMC position. Nothing to worry about for the Steam Pigs. And we go over to the Local Fire, who, to be fair to them, have chased the game and looked to exert their extra man, but it looks to have backfired, and Steam Pigs have taken control at 2-0. Fury for Lythe. Move to MLC. As is from Steve. And Scott, if you just give me a thumbs up that you're happy with that, mate. Happy with that, Scotty, mate? Yeah, good. Cheers, bud. Appreciate it. 66 minutes played. The Steam Pig's going to get a third. Sigalko with a shot. Vieira looks on track to be man of the match here. Oh, Henri hits the crossbar. Would have made the last. Oh, and Cabello hits the woodwork. A local fire, to be fair to Scotty, have really tried to make a game of it. And there is Nicky Butt sent off. Both teams down to 10. Or 92 minutes, Scotty. Steve, I'm not going to come to you for a change, mate, given it's 92 minutes. Scott, though, I will give you the chance just so. Roll. Okay, bud. No worries. And there is the final whistle. And the Steam Pigs looked really, really good for about 3/4 of that. That last 10 minutes, though, the local fire really tried to get back into it. And Scott makes a great point. Even with 10 men, that 11 from front to back. I don't know how Steve constantly does this when he's in a rut. Pulls together an unbelievable. That is an outstanding DMC line. The Steam Pigs are going to be amongst it this season, I think. Still a long way to go. Yeah, well played to both. Unlucky Scotty. How many have we got left? We've got Short Pump against the Vikings, and then we've got Des Moines against Alcatraz. So we're going to go Short Pump against the Vikings. This is how the Vikings go. The only change for Jens, I believe, was a change on the subs bench, which was Castroman for Hussein. Over at the Short Pump Sloths, who, would you believe it, since submitting their own tactic file that they've thought long and hard about, have won 3 on the spin. It's almost like there's method in it. This is how they go tonight. In fact, is it how they go tonight? I am not confident that that is Daz's submission. It isn't Daz's submission because I hadn't even opened his message. Khan Ayala Stam, Lizarazu Kambayasu Dasai, Zenoni Sidorf, Rakelme, Salas and Mido instead of Shira. Shira, yeah, I know. My spidey sense was telling us that I had an unopened tweet from you there, DM, and I don't know why I didn't load it in. Cheers, Daz, Harasimovic, and Shira. Daz, just give us the thumbs up that you're happy with that, my man. It's Chelsea now 3-0 behind. Fucking hell, shambles of a football club they are. Brilliant, and we roll. Can the Short Pump Sloths win 4 out of 4 against a really, really strong Vikings side, in all honesty? But it is Roy Mackay who has been so good this save. One of those players, as we said a couple of games ago, that in the hands of Jens, he just feels a little bit different. Vikings want a penalty, but doesn't get a gigs down the left-hand side, cleared away by the Sloths. Free kick, Rakelme, Desai. Feels like the Vikings are on top here, but it's only 1-0 at half time, and the stats would indicate the Vikings have dominated that half. We'll go to the Sloths first, given that they're behind and they probably want to make changes, and they're live. Jens said that he wasn't going to be live tonight, so we'll just keep an eye. Roll to 60 from Sloths. There's Jens' stats for when he gets back on. Giggs, Zielius, and Jeremy's all on an 8. And we'll go to 60, as I have got the worst heartburn in the world tonight. 58 minutes played. Seedorf goes into the book, and we're still 1-0 behind the Short Pump Sloths as Seedorf goes into the book. Powerhouse in the midfield has just been absolutely dominated. Desai, Zanoni, Seedorf, Rakelme, all really struggling. Lizarazu on 87%. We'll see what Daz wants to do. Over at the Vikings, solid away ratings, if unspectacular, but they're in control of this game. Don't really look like conceding. Although Giggs' 8 has dropped to a 7. As we see what Daz wants to do. Seedorf to Petrov. Down arrow. Mido to Shira. Riquelme, Tarasimovic. There we go. Excellent. Cheers, Daz. Really nice and clear message about your changes. 73 minutes played. Can they get back into this? Salah's in there. Shearer with a half a chance. And there is Ronaldo. And he puts the game to bed for the Vikings in what is a massive away performance here. Would be even better if they get the clean sheet. Giggs was free in the area, but calm with a big save. Final whistle. And yeah, that's about as straightforward an away win you can get. But no shame in that for Daz. This Vikings 11 is very, very, very good. Man of the match from Elias, who continues to do unbelievable things for the Vikings. And congratulations to Jens. Last game of the night, the newly crowned Grand National horse, Alcatraz FC, playing a slightly asymmetric wing-back winger formation. And he basically played really well against the Bisons on. No, he didn't play really well, actually. What am I talking about? Anyway, he didn't really have his players over the line, didn't really have his tactic done. So, yeah, we'll see how he goes tonight against this from the Demons. Rob, you... Hang on 2 seconds. Where was it? Brozek's there. No, that's not your keeper. We're there. Rob, you didn't name any subs, and you didn't name any subs, and you named a player that you haven't got in your left AMC, Kutasov. So we're gonna go Alan Smith because you love him. You didn't name any subs, and I did message you back, but I appreciate it's Valentine's Day night, mate. So keeper, centre half, wing back in MC, AMC, striker. So I'm going to do that for you. And we'll go with that. And we'll kick off. Veron with a header. Could have put Alcatraz 1-0 up. Easy chance for Pablo Aimar on his debut. Doing more in one game than he done for Stee in about 10. As Alcatraz look to be on top, and the Des Moines have just kind of hit them there with a little bit of a counter punch. 29 minutes played, free kick to the Des Moines Demons, and Van der Vaart puts his team 2-0 up. I think Van der Vaart was a signing from Alcatraz pre-horse. As Constantinu tries to get involved. Cliver strikes the ball and it goes out of play, and it's 3-0. As the Des Moines Demons are rampant at halftime, although the Alcatraz have created just as many, but clinical from the Des Moines Demons. Clivert, Van der Vaart, and Aimar, the stars of that first half. Over at the Alcatraz, Kutasov, Constantinu, who ironically Rob named in his 11, Constantinu, Kutasov, and Mondragon, who is a horse favourite. A horsey favourite is chucking in a 4 there for him. I think he was his first signing when he came in. So, Horse, we will just keep your 11 up on the screen because I suspect there's going to be wholesale changes in there for you. Nothing to worry about condition-wise. Rob isn't live, so we'll just have a little check of his conditions. And we'll just give Horse 30 seconds or so because he may be making wholesale changes here. So if he is, we'll just give him the grace of being able to make those. Right, Kutasov back to AMC with an arrow. Kovalchuk for Emerton. Kovalchuk for Emerton, swap with Bishkan. Anything else there, Horse, for you? Dan, let's do the deal. Is there a deal in the offing? Anything else there for you, Dan the man? Centralized const, lovely. Horse, if you can just give us the thumbs up that's good for you, mate. Totally appreciate you coming in late. So, yeah, okay, lovely, excellent. And we'll go to 60. Yellow card for Kutusov as the Des Moines Demons. Oh, and it looked as though the keeper wasn't going to get there. Clivert could have had a second, as they really are in total control of this game. And back over the Alcatraz, 5 for Kutusov. Mondragons turned his 4 into a 5. Bishgan on a 6. As we'll see what Horse wants to do at 60. Anything from your horsey boy? Kutusov off for Teneto. Bishgan DMC. Like that, Dan. Brilliant. Cheers, bud. As we roll until full time. Probably the Demons' performance of the season, in all honesty, here. Albeit against an Alcatraz side that are still experimenting and still trying to find the best 11 and best tactic. And that's a really comprehensive win. Although the Alcatraz created a shitload. I wonder who's had them shots off target for the Alcatraz. Constantinu, Veron. Yeah, the players you'd want. Yeah. There's an irony about it being your first week tactic and Des Moines and all that sort of stuff, Dan. And Sorin with a man of the match performance in what is a fantastic night for the Des Moines Demons. Brings us to the classifieds. Dandy's beaten Bison's 2-0 with goals from Canafora and Crespo. Des Moines, as we've seen, Imo, Van der Vaart and Clivert 3-0. Memphis Reigns and Gators both really solid. Neither deserve to lose. Fair result. Pelham winning in extra time with a Patasoglu Pelham goal. Barthez now joins Nesta on the recovery bench. Vikings really in control away from, that was some performance away from home against the resurgent Chopin Sloss. And the Steam Pigs, even with 10 men, in absolute control against their local fire. Leaves the tables looking like this. Bisons are on 25 points. Vikings are on 20 points. Drivetrain on 16. Memphis Reigns on 10. Over at the Central, Dandy's now joined Bisons on 25 points, but have played a game more. Pelham on 19 points, a point behind Vikings. A local fire on 14. And Alcatraz on 7 points. Over to the Western, Des Moines Demons on 16. Steam Pigs starting to build a little something there after a horrific start on 15 points. Short Pump Sloths on 13 and the Gators are on 8. I think there are a couple of outstanding deals to process and I'll check the spreadsheet and get those done now with packs. Upload the save straight away so that we can turn the save around for Sunday, boys. Cheers for your company tonight. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day and an even better weekend, boys. Up the All-Stars.